Round 4 of the Rockstar Energy Motocross Nationals took place at Moto Valley in Saskatchewan this past weekend, just outside Regina. When the first MX2 Moto blasted off from the gate, it was number 338 from California, Ryan Surratt out front, followed by Jacob Hayes. A great start for Jonah Brittens. There's Pettis and Moffenbauer in the rest of the field. Hayes would lead the first lap and looked to be having a good race, as too did number 12 Moffenbauer, followed by Surratt, Thompson, Pettis, Osby, Dylan Wright, and Jonah Brittens. The two looked to be in control, Hayes and Moffenbauer, as they had defending champ Thompson behind him. Pettis had Josh Osby all over him, and Dylan Wright with a good start, chasing down, leading to the front. But Moffenbauer would have trouble and get stuck under his bike with his boot and his brake, and in a high-speed section, Hayes would go over the bars after a mechanical and would hurt his right ankle, and he was done for the day. Dylan Wright continued to move forward. Thompson was out front, looking solid as usual. And there were the two rookie pros. That's Fortier and Keese going at it. They would finish 8th and 10th respectively. There goes Josh Osby, who had young Jess Pettis trying to hang on, and what turned out would be a broken left collarbone for him. He would still muscle his way through to finish 4th in the moto, but he was done for the day. At the checkered flag, it was Thompson who took the first moto win by about 6 seconds over Josh Osby in second. 12 seconds behind him came number 14, Dylan Wright, with a solid moto. Great ride for young Jonah Brittens, who would finish in 6th place with Davey Frazier in 7th right behind him. Taylor Arsenault would have some troubles, dropping the bike in the last turn, getting up to remount in 11th place. Moffenbauer, after getting stuck under his bike, would come back through the pack and get 16th. When the first MX1 moto hit the track, as the Rockstar girls run out of the way, it would be number 2, Tyler Medali, with a big hole shot to lead the way, followed by front runners Purcell, Gerke, Fasciotti, Chisholm, Epstein, Tremblay, and the rest. After the first lap, though, it was Purcell and Gerke out front, followed by Colton Fasciotti, Dylan Epstein, Tremblay, Alessi, and the rest of the guys, the usual 4 up front here, as they would go tooth and nail for the first couple of laps, followed by Tim Tremblay, who wanted to get his name in there, Mike Alessi, Kyle Chisholm, there's Keelan Meston, Nathan Bless having a good start, and Kyle Swanson, number 20. Tyler Medali would tangle with Gerke on the first lap and find himself chasing from backaways in the pack as the front runners battled wheel to wheel. Gerke out front, followed by Purcell, Fasciotti, and Epstein. Epstein would have some troubles with the bike, though, and find himself chasing as the front end was locking up on him. That's Alessi, Tremblay, Cade Clayson, Chisholm. Oh, and there's that problem with his bike would collect Kyle Chisholm, and Chisholm would get the worst of it as Epstein keeps going and comes out in front of Nathan Bless. Epstein left back and charging. Chisholm at the back and left, trying to make his way back up. Mike Alessi would be on his way to a very solid day, sitting in 3rd place, as Tyler Medali still tried to make his way up and would make some passes, get himself up close to a top 3 finish. In the end, it was Matt Gerke who took the win over number 377. That's Christophe Purcell from France, who cruised it into 2nd place. Mike Alessi, solid first moto in 3rd, nursing that sore knee. Tyler Medali would have a great charge and finish 4th in the race. 4-time champ Colton Fasciotti. Cade Clayson finishes behind him. When the second MX2 moto got underway, it would be number 787, Redemption Racing's Josh Osby, who got out to the lead. But it wouldn't last long, as defending champ Cole Thompson would find his way around as the rest of the pack comes through. To complete the first lap, Thompson found himself out front and starting to gap the field, as Osby still had 2nd place, but Moffenbauer was trying to get around him. Surratt, and there is young Chris Fortier. He's got lots of company behind him as Dylan Wright got off to a little bit of a bad start, tried to make his way through the pack. Thompson out front had Moffenbauer, the local Saskatchewan rider, trying to make up some time on the defending champ out front as they go over the amateur finish line. Fortier had number 14, Dylan Wright, all over his back wheel. Thompson looking smooth out front, followed by Moffenbauer in 2nd. That's Josh Osby in third. Fourth is Ryan Surratt. Fifth would be Dylan Wright as he tried to make his way forward. Fortier had Jonah Brittens again, who was having a great day behind him. Thompson gets the pit sign in the later stages of the race as he negotiates the tricky ruts that develop in the track. Here's a real-time look back to second place as Sean Moffenbauer makes his way past the mechanics area and starts to close the gap on Thompson, but he will find himself running out of time. There goes Osby. Dylan Wright makes his way around Ryan Surratt as he moves his way forward, but in the end, Thompson was just looking smooth out front, minding the gap back to second place Moffenbauer, as Moffenbauer did try to put on a charge and would close it, but would run out of time. Thompson would go 1-1 on the day with just a couple second lead over Sean Moffenbauer, who redeemed himself after that first moto troubles. Osby third. Dylan Wright a little upset, I think, with what he saw were some lack of blue flags, and he goes and pleads his case with head referee Paul Kingsley, who explains how he saw things. In the end, Cole Thompson first, Josh Osby second, Dylan Wright third. Final MX1 moto took place, and it was familiar face number 5, Mike Alessi, who will get a great jump and get out to the front early, followed by Gerke, Chisholm, Medaglia, Purcell, and the rest of the riders. Number 108, Dylan Epstein, found himself down in the second corner, leaving himself dead last with a lot of work to do. Make that second to dead last as Colton Fasciotti had troubles just before that in the second turn. Meanwhile, Alessi out front, followed by Gerke, and a great start in third place for Cade Clayson, number 7. There's Purcell, Chisholm, and his teammate number 6, Tyler Medaglia. Meanwhile, Fasciotti and Epstein teamed up together and worked their way through the field. They actually got up to the top 10 quite quickly as they chased down number 8, Keelan Meston. Meanwhile, out front with a commanding lead to the early to mid stages of the race was number 5, Mike Alessi, nursing that sore knee. Gerke chasing him down with Purcell right on his rear wheel. Cade Clayson had Chisholm and Tyler Medaglia all over him. Tim Tremblay had Nathan Bless chasing him. And here comes Fasciotti and Epstein continuing their charge forward. Tim Tremblay gets a little loose over the tunnel jump. Gerke would find himself out front getting around Alessi. Tyler Medaglia working his way around the tough, rutted, hard track with his teammate Chisholm behind him. Epstein now up on that duo. Cade Clayson ended up alone. And Fasciotti would make his way up to 8th, but that is where his progress would stall. Epstein now up to the very fast riders up to the front, chasing down Tyler Medaglia, getting between the two teammates. Gerke thinking he had this 1-1 with Purcell behind him. Here comes Mike Alessi in third. Gerke would have the unthinkable on a rock, would hit his chain and take the chain off with 2 corners left to go, putting him back in 6th place. Epstein continued forward, thinking he was 4th. That would change. That was a good battle here. Crowd cheers on Gerke as he was leading at this point, with a commanding lead now, looking to take this one over Purcell. 3rd place, Mike Alessi. But Epstein in 4th, he thought, but that chain took Gerke out of the lead, giving it to Purcell. Gerke gets 6th in that moto. Overall, Purcell, Mike Alessi, and Matt Gerke. We now head to Gopher Dunes in 2 weeks' time.
Oh my goodness, it's a big hosing all over Regina. All right. Well done, Alessi. Got his gloves on.